Hello, Paul. Nice to meet you in cyberspace. This is some video feedback for you on your milestone 1. Now, if I've missed anything or haven't covered something, or if you have any questions of any kind, don't hesitate to call me or text me. I've given my phone number elsewhere in the class. Or good old-fashioned email is always good, too. I bid you strength. Paul, when I go to open up your Illustrator file, it tells me that I'm missing some images, and I see that they're from Adobe stock. I don't have those. You'd have to provide those along with the Illustrator file, or you can embed them. I know it looks like you have, but you've actually linked to them. You can embed them in the various layers. So I'm just going to click through this. It's also asking me for a typeface called Blackadder, which is the pirate-like typeface that I think that you've used, which I find actually strange, maybe a little bit corny, but also appealing too. But because I don't have that, it's not going to display. So if you were to send your file to Kinko's to print out, say, a proof, and you did not include your typefaces, or your fonts, or your photos, your Photoshop photos, this is what they would receive. So what I suggest, if you can, is to learn to embed images on their layers of Illustrator file rather than linking to them. That's okay because you've provided us with a Photoshop file, and I'm assuming that this is the PDF, and I can see what your where your thinking is. Now let me go back to the Illustrator file. I just want to make sure that you are able to import the corporate assets, the logo. Paul, what I've done is I've opened up the corporate style guide in Illustrator. Even though it's a PDF, it can be opened in Illustrator. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, using the direct select tool, the logo, copy it to the clipboard, and then go to the Illustrator file, where I can paste it, preferably on its own layer, labeled something like logo. All right, so and that way it is embedded on the on a layer. I would maybe should have called this layer logo, and you can move it around as you wish. Oops. Okay, so hopefully that'll help you out. Take a look at the. Let's take a look at some other aspects of the corporate style guide. You have the corporate colors here, which includes this gray, which might be useful. And then you have suggestions about type, and they include sizes and weights. So headlines, what size is this? I mean, you could figure it out just by selecting it in Illustrator. Also, you'll want to include information about the location, the URL. That's all here. Okay. And this is typical of what you might find when you walk into a design job and the company that you have been working with has corporate styles. They're usually a little bit more extensive than this, but this represents like the minimum for a corporate style guide. Oh, note too that the there are web equivalents for colors. Paul, you could use this typeface Blackadder, but I think at least for some of the contact information, you should use the corporate typeface Arial. Perhaps use this for the slogan, Getaway Resorts. You're going to want to, include the logo. I do like the simplicity of it, though, and I like that this tobacco color, although it's not part of the corporate palette, does go well with your image. I'm not seeing your silhouette from week 3, however, and let me see, what did that look like? Yes, the Lamborghini. Well, consider something tropical to place on your ad. It would make it less two-dimensional. As appealing as a Lambo on the beach might be to you or me, think about your wider audience. Okay, I think you have some of the basic ingredients. I'm just looking for the logo and some copy about your contact information. I think you have the beginnings and perhaps a silhouette of a seashell. I don't know. My imagination is a little dry now, but think about including a silhouetted or masked object on your ad. Paul, I'm sorry there was so much dead space at the end of this, and I apologize for wasting your time. I'll leave it here. If you have any questions or you need further feedback, don't hesitate to reach out.